We've all been there, staring at a menu torn between the tempting burger and the healthy salad. Decisions, decisions. Economists call this dance between our desires and our wallet's budget constraints. Simply put, your budget is the money you have to spend. It's the boundary of what's possible. Sadly, unless you've discovered a money tree, that budget is limited. This means we can't have it all. Every choice has a cost. Buy that fancy coffee, and you might have to skip the cinema. Understanding these trade-offs is the first step to mastering your budget. In economics, we use a handy tool to visualize these trade-offs. The budget line. It shows all the possible combinations of two goods you can buy, given your income and their prices. Now, let's talk happiness, or as economists like to call it, utility. Indifference curves are our happiness maps. Imagine different combinations of pizza and movies that bring you the same level of satisfaction. Maybe 2 pizzas and 1 movie make you just as happy as 1 pizza and 2 movies. Plot these combinations on a graph and you've got yourself an indifference curve. It represents all the bundles of goods that give you equal joy. These curves have a few quirks. They slope downwards because, let's be honest, getting less of something usually means you need more of something else to stay equally happy. Also, they're usually curved, reflecting our tendency to prefer a mix of things rather than extremes. Not all goods are created equal. Some are like 2 peas in a pod, perfect complements. Think left and right shoes. You get no extra happiness from having more of one without the other. On the flip side, we have perfect substitutes. Coke or Pepsi? For some, it makes no difference. They're happy to swap one for the other at a constant rate. Understanding these relationships helps us see how our preferences shape our choices. So, how do we decide what to buy? It's all about finding that sweet spot where our desires meet our budget. This magical point is where our highest attainable indifference curve just touches the budget line. At this point, the extra satisfaction we get from one more unit of a good is exactly balanced by its cost relative to other goods. Economists call this the marginal rate of substitution. Section 5. More money, more problems. How income shifts spending. What happens when our income changes? A raise might mean we can finally afford that gym membership or a weekend getaway. This shift in our budget line allows us to reach a higher indifference curve, meaning we can achieve a higher level of satisfaction. Of course, how we spend that extra cash depends on our individual preferences. Section 6. The sales effect. When prices change the game. Price changes can send shockwaves through our budgets. Imagine your favorite coffee shop doubles its prices. Ouch! This price hike forces us to rethink our choices. We might switch to a cheaper alternative, also known as the substitution effect, or cut back on coffee altogether as our purchasing power diminishes, which is the income effect. Understanding these effects helps us predict how consumers react to price fluctuations. Section 7. From shopping list to demand curve. Now let's connect the dots between individual choices and the broader market. When the price of a good changes, it not only impacts our individual budgets but also influences the overall quantity demanded in the market. By observing how individuals respond to price changes, we can derive a demand curve, a graphical representation of the relationship between price and quantity demanded. Section 8. Life's big decisions: work, save, or spend. The principles of consumer choice extend beyond groceries and gadgets. They help us understand decisions about work, saving, and even charitable giving. For instance, a higher wage might incentivize someone to work more hours, while a juicy interest rate might encourage them to save more. Section 9. Mastering your budget, the bottom line. Understanding budget constraints, indifference curves, and how prices impact our choices empowers us to make informed decisions. By recognizing that every choice has a cost and seeking that sweet spot where our desires align with our wallets, we can maximize our happiness within our means. So the next time you're facing a tough spending decision, remember the power of economics. Choose wisely.